Okay, Leah Sharibu, Matters Horizon. According to reports, Leah Sharibu has allegedly given birth to a son fathered by a top Boko Haram commander. According to Sahara reporters, Leah, if you recall, she's the Christian girl who was kidnapped along with other schoolgirls but was not released with the others because she refused to renounce Christianity. She allegedly gave birth to a baby boy some weeks ago. She was reportedly forced by the terror group to convert to Islam before being married off to a top Boko Haram commander, the publication claims. Also, Ahmed Salkida, who is a journalist who has access to Boko Haram, and he also once acted as a mediator, between the insurgents and the Nigerian government, has confirmed that Leah Sharibu is now a mother. Meanwhile, Nathan Sharibu, who is father to Leah Sharibu, has reacted to the report of his daughter giving birth. And speaking in a phone conversation with reporters yesterday, Mr. Sharibu insisted that he won't be giving credence to rumors about his daughter. And he said he is only concerned with seeing his daughter return alive to his family with or without a baby. Mr. Foster.
When the news broke, I felt so sad that a child, Lee was just a child, when she was picked up by the Montrose insurgents. I think Nigerian government should cover their head, their face, their legs, everything in shame that this is happening. This cannot happen to an American. It cannot happen to America. And to say that they don't even have an intelligence, the Nigerian government don't even have an intelligence how Lee is doing wherever she is. That the story is being given out by a newspaper, and we are trying to say it's not. We hear that the aides to the president have reacted and the rest of it. I don't know how to react to this kind of issues because I am a father too, and I don't know what would have happened to me if my daughter was in that situation as we speak. So I felt so bad. I felt so bad that the government of the day, despite their promises, have failed to rescue that little girl. And now what is happening is that if it was another client, by today, by now, the gate of Aso Rock will be unseated, so to say. I mean, they will literally force the president to come down from his high horse and address the Nigerian people and even step aside, because it's a thing of embarrassment that a child that was picked up, the rest were released. You couldn't negotiate for this child to be released. You allow her to be taken away for over 2 years. And today, we are hearing that she's the mother to somebody whose father didn't give her out to.
All right, Mr. Zikama.
The thing is that I think in the Bible, for example, John chapter 5, verse 5, Jesus had gone to a place called the pool of Bethsaida and saw a man who was been there for 38 years. The Bible said he knew the man had been there for a very long time, but he asked the man, do you want to be healed? That question seemed insensitive. It seemed redundant.
Or seemed irrelevant.
But then you have to realize that there are some sick people who do not want to be healed. The federal government is fighting Boko Haram, but does not want to defeat Boko Haram.
That's your opinion?
I am speaking for myself.
Okay.
Yes, but does not want to defeat Boko Haram because the fight against Boko Haram became commercialized. Well, that's one reason. So now millions can be budgeted, or billions, for the war and don't get accounted for. People are benefiting from the war. Second, the many people in the upper echelon, highest echelon of Nigerian government are religiously sympathetic. They are religiously attached to Boko Haram and his religious beliefs. For those two reasons, Boko Haram insurgency will remain for a long time. The issue of Leah Sharibu, it's a failure of government, a failure of leadership. So when they want to Everything in Nigeria these days is tribalized, is religionized, is politicized. Okay? So when they talk about it because she's a Christian or because she's a Muslim, that's most irrelevant. There are many Muslims in Boko Haram captivity. There are some Christians in Boko Haram captivity.
Sure.
So it's just that the government has failed Nigerians, be them Muslims, be them Christians.
Even the pagans.
But that's a young woman to pay attention to. Somebody that has that kind of courage under that very dangerous circumstances held her position. I am not renouncing my faith. I remain a Christian. That's a unique kind of young woman that Nigerians should pay close attention to. And in the final analysis, just like the father said, whether she's coming home alone or with a baby, it makes no difference. Let her come home. That's the final thing. We hope to see her alive one day.
Yeah, I align my thoughts to the last two speakers on this particular matter. For me, Ofose has said government should cover their faces in shame. It's not just government. The Christian Association of Nigeria should cover their faces in shame. Even the Muslim group, I've forgotten what they call them.
Murik.
Yeah, should cover their faces in
All right,
shame.
let me just butt in here. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back after this quick break. Welcome back. All right, before we took that break, Mr. Osangbi, you were
Yes, I was trying to say that it's not just government that should cover their faces in shame. The faith-based organizations like Christian Association of Nigeria, Murik, and even the civil society, we all must share in the responsibility
the blame.
of filling the little girl and people like her. Sadly, it's a Nigerian thing. We all just we feel relaxed, we feel as if it's normal, and that is why the international community cannot understand our unique nature, the way we are. That nothing worries us. We just see it as as very normal. Just like this celebration of the death of Kobe Bryant, and all that. But we've got fundamental issues here. An aspirant, a senator aspirant. Senatorial aspirant in Imo State died over the weekend.
Exactly.
What killed him? He was shot by his own security man in error. They were celebrating this. All they do in the East, just to celebrate and announce it. That's barbaric. It's a common thing. Do you understand? So these are issues that pop up every time, and we just relax as if nothing is at stake. But back to the subject matter. Like Ofose said, you had expected reaction. But again, what reaction would you expect here? Because the government of the day will tell you that corruption is fighting back, and we have so politicized everything, ethnicized everything, that if I now start reacting, they will say, "Oh, he's a South man. He's from Delta. These are Jonathan people and all that." Do you understand?
He's still agree that Jonathan is out of power.
So it annoys when you read some of these things on social media. So until we begin to hold government to account, until we begin to call out people, until we begin to call A, and Z, then things will begin to be better for us, irrespective of whoever, irrespective of the faith the person believes in, irrespective of the political leanings.
All right, but let me ask, it doesn't make anybody happy really to know that she's at least still alive. And second of all, What kind of compensation do you give
There's no compensation.
the girl and her family herself? I mean, this is a girl. She was a child, like you said, that was forcefully taken away. And I mean, we can only but imagine the manner and kind of abuses she would have been subjected to, you know, and now all of a sudden motherhood is being, you know, forced on her against her will. What sort of compensation?
There's no compensation. Let me tell you, as a parent myself, I can only, you know, praise the courage of her parents. I just came back from Benin yesterday. My daughter is 17. She resumed the Uniben. I couldn't take the risk of allow her go.
You had to take her.
Don't you understand? I had to drive her to Benin, to the hostel, to make sure she's
comfortable.
Don't you get? So I cannot imagine the trauma that the parents of this little girl would be going. So what kind of compensation? The issue is not about compensation. It's just our terrible nature. Now, if the girl comes back, she will need a whole lot of, you know, psychological counseling, a whole lot of things. It would appear that you've tried to ruin the girl's life, being a baby mother at that age, her education stunted. So what kind of compensation is going to be that? Is going to address that? There's no compensation. It's not an issue of compensation. Wow. It's an issue of failure of leadership, failure of governance. And the next thing you will see is a press release by government, and that's it. And that ends it. The next election is not going to be an issue. The next election, you raise it as an issue, you are seen as corruption fighting back. So we have a problem. We need to the only way we can compensate is for you and I, all of us, to begin to reorientate ourselves, to change our attitude to things like this, to say enough is enough.
Okay, all right.
It's okay. I really feel we seem to forget so soon. Maybe we suffer from a collective amnesia in this country. We seem to forget so soon that a Khan chairman from Adamawa State was recently, maybe a fortnight ago, beheaded. I mean, not just killed shamelessly. In a country with 36 governors, 109 senators, about 360 House of Rep members, and a president, a vice president, in a country like that. Now, I just read yesterday in the night that someone sent me a press release from Niger State that the president has ordered that there should be an airstrike on bandits and kidnappers. And I'm asking myself, Mr. President, why don't you send an airstrike on Boko Haram? What are we doing? If you have this kind of firepower, what are you waiting for? They killed someone as popular, as renowned as a man of God, a Khan chairman in Adamawa State, beheaded by Boko Haram, and send you a video, and you are so comfortable. On in that night, whatever your wife or your aides or your cook will make food for you, and you sit very comfortably and consume it. We are a country of no conscience. In fact, at times when things like this come true, I feel that we are, some of us on this end, we are justifying some of this, because I'm tired of talking about these things.
Okay.
If the only reason why we voted President Muhammadu Buhari to power was to stop, we didn't even care about economy as at that time. We didn't care about social welfare as at that time. What we care about was that because the Boko Haram were coming into Abuja, the areas that they were not having access to, they were coming in. So we bring him in to say, you are a former military head of state, you are a former general, please come and help us. And he has refused to help us.
Okay.
I just say he has refused to help us.
All right. The thing is that we as a people, Nigerians, we lost our sense of outrage. So there's nothing that you do that you consider abominable or outrageous. Everything is fine. And one U.S. senator, late Senator Daniel Monahan, once said that any nation that has lost its sense of outrage is destined for extinction. So that's the problem in Nigeria. 23 job seekers, including 4 pregnant women, died in different stadia in Nigeria. And the minister who was responsible for this recruiting, forgot his name, Adu Barrow, whatever his name is, said, yes, it's their fault. They died because of their impatience for public consumption. The man remained in office. Goodluck Jonathan made no point of it. did not apologize
Abamoro.
did not apologize to the nation, did not remove the man. I think he came back.
He's not even a senator as we
came
speak.
back and ran for the Senate, and people.
He's a senator as we speak today.
So we lost our sense of outrage. How do we regain it? The courts, the churches, and the universities. Reorientation. Those are the pivotal points of reorientation. But those institutions are so terribly corrupt as of now that you expect nothing good from them.
Okay, let's look at how viewers are reacting. Pastor David Sonny from Ikeja says, Leah Sharibu's unfortunate issue is a slap, not only on Christians, but also to Nigerians in general. Chini from Enugu State says, good day everyone in the studio. It's quite unfortunate that the federal government could not pay the same ransom to rescue this girl. Injustice truly lives in Nigeria. Can't stop my tears. And this one says, Leah's issue this morning was very sad. Can't just understand again. Our president has failed on this one. Olojo David from Ojo.
Before you move on, let me just tip this in.
Quickly.
I want to ask, if Leah Sharibu is the daughter of a minister or a very close aide to the president, would she have remained there? I remember an issue where a daughter of a prominent Nigerian who is very close to the presidency was held in Saudi Arabia for carrying drugs. And I knew what this presidency did to bring that girl back.
Yes.
I knew. And that girl is supposed to have faced execution because he was guilty to have taken drugs from this country to Saudi Arabia.
Okay, well, I think we'll have to wait and see what happens with Leah Sharibu. It's a very heartbreaking one. You know, for anybody who has a child, you relate with this story.